Okay, y'all. I didn't want to make this video, but I got gang people asking me, yo. And first of all, let me say this. A lot of people wouldn't care about this one shot had it not been for Coffee Comics. There are folks who just want to know my opinion on the thing, right? So, fine. I'll share my opinion on this. Now, is this a big win for DD Mark? I suppose if this is what he wanted to do, he wanted to be seen by Viz Media. He wanted to be picked up by a big corporation. If this is what he truly wanted, then it is a massive win for him, right? But make no mistake, it is still just a one shot. Is it possible that he can get a series with this? It's possible, right? We're going to go through this in the Coffee Comics Standard, right? And at the end of the day, I'm going to be real. And I don't want nobody coming here saying, I'm hating. This ain't hate. This is just a dude being straight up. Yeah, I'm not hating. We just got to be real with ourselves. Again, if this is what Mark just wanted, then congratulations. But we're going to look at it deeper because under the Coffee Comics Standard, well, there are standards. And there has to be a message. There has to be a point. There has to be something you have to say. And unfortunately, Giggle Fist is exactly that. It's a giggle fest. It might as well have been called Giggle Fest, not Giggle Fist, right? And Mark even says here, special thanks to Hisashi Sasaki for working closely with him to develop this. Now, I don't think Mark is lying when he says that. The fact that the former editor-in-chief of Shonen Jump worked with Mark to produce this, I am greatly disappointed and shocked and in deep despair. Now, Mark's art is amazing. We're not gonna talk much about it. We don't have to. The guy is gifted in the art department. However, in the story department, yeah, it looks like there's just nobody home. And even though he has a high-level editor to help him, there's no one home. This has been a revelation to me, officially, without a doubt, that everybody running bankrupt in creativity right now. The whole thing I said about people are unable to extrapolate from life experiences, right, from the real world, and extrapolate from popular IP only, it is true. The funny thing is, Hisashi, working closely with Mark, should have voiced out what I just said. This man is over probably 60 years old. And he has Omega experience, yet he allowed Mark to publish this one shot and deem it okay for a quality product. If we're going to look at it as a product that's going to make a difference in people's lives, is going to be a product that's actually going to inspire people, not superficially, then it fails tremendously so. I don't understand how a 60-plus-year-old Japanese manga editor from the biggest Japanese manga company could allow something like this to come to fruition, right? Now, most of us could not read this manga because it's region locked. So I had a bro who sent me the screenshots of the thing, and I could read it there. So real quick, let's go to the screenshots. And I'm not going to go through everything, but let's start from the very beginning. All right, we got the cover and we have the opening. And when I read the opening, there's nothing new. I'm sure everybody understands the normal Chinese kung fu fantasy. They use chi and blah, blah, blah. We don't have to go through that. Nothing new here was established. And under the Coffee Comics Standard, you know that we need a hook. I was waiting for a hook because everything from the beginning is stuff we already know. We already know about Kung Fu fantasy lore. We already know it. I grew up watching all sorts of Kung Fu movies. I'm still a Kung Fu fan today. I know it to death. I was looking for a hook. I was looking for something that would make me stick. The art is great, but it's not like enchanting, you know. It's a great shonen style, but it's not enchanting. It doesn't have this appeal of something deeper, you know. It's got this appeal of something disposable, and that's not to smack on Mark, because he is a great artist. But the problem with modern artists is that they create disposable art, unmemorable art, and then on top of that you have unmemorable storytelling. You see, now so far there is nothing memorable said in any of these things, nothing worth to take into consideration, nothing new, no twist, you name it, nothing whatsoever. And then the explanation of how chi works here, and how whoever can wield it is like the gods, you know. There is an attempt to create a hook here that there is the marked and the unmarked, right? No pun intended. And the main character is an unmarked. So the marked are they who can use chi, and the unmarked are they who cannot use chi. Reminded me of Rock Lee, who couldn't use chakra. But that wasn't the major thing that was like, did he just take this from Naruto? No. What I got from this immediately when we kept reading, when we got to this point over here, right, was for me, it's like, okay, so Hisashi approved this, and it reminded me of the Legend of Kora. Remember season 1 of the Legend of Kora? Yeah, there was benders and non-benders, and there was this group of people, the equalists. You see, Aman is an interesting villain, because in his attempt to equalize the whole world, because benders have an unfair advantage, he's a hypocrite because he himself is a bender. He tries to equalize the world using his water bending skills to take bending from others. This was a legitimate hook. However, there is no hook here. So we get the because this moment here, we've seen this 10 billion times in a bunch of IP Man. This reminded me of IP Man. If you guys know IP Man, Donnie Yen's Kung Fu movies about Bruce Lee's master, I just was like, this is straight up IP Man, you know. But also it had this generic tone of every Kung Fu setup. Oh, you killed my father, I want to train for 10 years to come after you, yada, yada, yada. We've seen it to death if you are familiar with Chinese Kung Fu movies, right? So the main character is very much so inspired by his dad, who is an unmarked himself, and then he finds himself in trouble owing money to this gang, and then the gang boss, who is a marked Kung Fu master, comes along, kills the father with his real Kung Fu, and then years later the main character is now grown up, begging to be accepted into multiple dojos, but he's not allowed because he can't use chi, so he trains every day. Now, I suppose when I'm looking at this, I'm wondering to myself, in what panel here could we say that Hisashi had a hand in? I am picking up this moment here of the centipede. Is this a centipede? You know, that thing that goes in a cocoon and then turns into a butterfly? I knew what this meant automatically. I am thinking that, Hisashi, if this is the only thing that you contributed in this one shot, then my goodness, sir, like I can't believe I'm saying these things. A man beyond overqualification should be the one saying everything I'm saying. It shouldn't be me. It shouldn't be me, some dude in Africa in the jungle saying these things, but it is me. This is just ridiculous. But anyway, he trains every day. He's sad that he can't be accepted into a dojo and so on. And then he sees a lady in trouble, tries to save the day, gets beaten by marked Kung Fu masters, and then an old man shows up and then he snaps up the bad guys and shows his hidden style kung fu, well, shadow style kung fu. And this very scene here, I was like, yeah, that is straight up Legend of Kora, right? Now, before anyone be like, well, dude, you're not talking about the art. The art doesn't matter right now. The art is good, but guess what? Food that smells good don't mean it tastes good. You know what I'm saying? Mark got some food that smells wonderful because of the art. But then when you take a bite, there just ain't no flavor, man. You find out that it's some Walmart beef, or I don't even know, man, Boxer's supermarket ShopRite beef. And if you're South African and you know Boxer's meat, you know that you shouldn't eat it, right? So this is straight up Legend of Kora, where the chi blockers came through over here to block people's chi so they can't bend. Here's an example. Yeah. They lost their ability to bend for the moment over there. And even this guy says, my chi, I can't use it. And then they run away, right? So I was like, but you gotta be joking. How is it that Hisashi did not notice that that's from Kora? And you can say, well, dude, come on, man. Nothing is 100% original. Yes, and that is fine to a certain degree. The problem is that when the story doesn't have a fundamental message, it doesn't have a point. The problem I have with D.D. Mark is that he makes disposable stories. He's a very high level quantity producer. Now the art is quality, he's gifted in that, right? But in terms of story, the dude is just so capable of dishing out disposable after disposable after disposable. And some people like myself, I cannot do that, right? If Mark has the energy to create so much work, such a huge volume of work, that means absolutely nothing, then good for him. He is the type who would actually succeed in the industry from sheer quantity, not quality. If he were to get somebody to work with him and write the story for him, I suppose he would do a lot better. But this is a sad day. This is a sad day because he is as good as white manga, and both of them are terrible at storytelling. Absolutely terrible. So we have this scene here where the main character asks the old man, how did you do that? You're just selling onions. How is it that you could ward off these marked chi users and so on? And then he asked to be the student, and before you know it, with this imagery again where the butterfly is starting to come out of the cocoon, I could already know that, okay, so basically the main character is going to be the superhero. He's going to be the chosen one. That's when I knew even more that Hisashi has failed, that D.D. Mark has failed as a storyteller. We are tired of the chosen one. We are absolutely tired, right? Because look at what is said here. From the moment I laid eyes on you, I saw in you the future of Kung Fu. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Once again, we have another Naruto. And another thing I gotta say about the main character, I don't like him. He's a delinquent. We've seen too many delinquents in shonen history, bro. They ain't nothing new. Hisashi, what in the world are you doing? Like, this isn't fair, man. Do you people care about the craft? Clearly not. This is all about just making bank. That's all it is. You only care about the money. But guess what? You ain't gonna sell so much anymore if you just gonna keep dishing out garbage. That's why BlackRock is at the door bailing you out, because ain't nobody wanna buy in something they've read 1 billion times already. You know, they absolutely nothing new, nothing inspiring, chosen one, protagonist syndrome all the time. Like, we cannot relate to these people. We cannot relate to these people. Remember the ingredients for proper storytelling. It must be relatable, familiar, inspiring, and hopeful. This manga, it's not relatable. And it's not inspiring at all, because he was meant to be the chosen one. So it's not inspiring, right? He grew up as a loser, but he's always been chosen, just like Naruto, right? It's not inspiring. Is it hopeful? How? How can it be hopeful when all the effort that you put in your work are not going to bear fruit one day? They bear fruit if you are the chosen one. So it's not hopeful. Is it familiar? Oh yeah, it is familiar in the sense of, like, we've watched 10,000 Kung Fu movies just like it. So its familiarity is not in the good context. So the old man continues to say, I don't bestow this technique lightly. It was gifted to me by my master, and I feared it would perish with me unless I found a worthy successor. Yet within you lies a butterfly waiting to emerge from its larva form, born anew. That is so cringe level cliche gay. Man, nah, bro. Nah, guys, nah. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, if I was the king of the world, I'd put both Didi Mark and Hisashi in jail. I'd put them in jail. I'd be like, you guys are sentenced 5 years in prison doing hard labor for creating this manga, this giggle fest. Not giggle fist, giggle fest. You are sentenced to 5 years in jail, hard labor in North Korea, because this is not a respecting of the craft. So years go by, and now he's a bit older and obviously stronger, and we introduced to some other girl that I don't care about. All this dialogue here, I don't care about. And then they come to this place where now the main character is going to be able to get a bit of his revenge. And Mark shows off more of his choreography skills. Very good fighting, very good perspective. You cannot talk smack about him in that department, right? So we see the main character using some Wing Chun action, the straight up IP man, but that's fine. I mean, it's familiar, right? But nonetheless, and he beats everybody, obviously, right? After all, the first moment the old man saw him, he saw the future of Kung Fu. So obviously he's going to win every fight. So then he goes upstairs to find the guy who killed his father. And the true battle begins. And in this moment, it's straight up John Wick. It's just Kung Fu John Wick to me. And they're gonna start fighting, and here we go, yada yada yada, bam bam bam. Bad guy's about to unleash his chi, and then the main character remembers that he's learned chi blocking, and then he's gonna use it on the bad guy and takes away his chi, like the Avatar took away people's bending in the end, and dislocates his shoulder. And then it pretty much ends with this. There are thousands of Kung Fu masters out there, some 1,000 times stronger than me, yet the aura he's emanating is that of a Kung Fu master of legend. Just like that. I can't beat him, I concede. Go ahead and do it. Get your revenge. It's what you came for, isn't it? So the dude became Hokage in a one shot. I mean, how the heck can you read this as a series? How could Hisashi do something like this? Man, somebody better give me $50 for this video, bruh. Somebody better give me $100 for this video. I just did more work than Hisashi has done working with Mark. It's like Viz should hire me. You know what, Viz? If you're listening to this, you should hire me. Hire me and I will fix everything. I will establish the standards that you clearly have forgotten, right? Hire me as an editor, a high-level editor, and I want that salary of $20,000 a month, right? Hire me and watch me fix everything. Watch more people read more Viz Media. Let me be the gate. Because clearly, for whatever reason, with great respect, Hisashi just ain't doing it. I don't understand, man. Hisashi, if you watch this and you want to give me a call, go ahead, give me a call, sir. I'm just greatly disappointed, and I don't understand how this can be happening. Unless you have been bought off by BlackRock and you want to subtly introduce demoralizing content slowly, and you starting it off with just creating dopamine food, zombie food. It appeals to only the 3 primal instincts: fear, violence, and lust. Here there is no fear, there's no lust, but there is violence. It's not of high level, but it's got enough razzmatazz to give you a dopamine rush. Has BlackRock bought Viz Media already? Because they sure as heck be operating as if they have been bought. And then it ends off with him, I have beaten you in a fight as an unmarked person. This was never about revenge. I was just honoring the memory of my dad and proving you wrong. And look at him. He's still a delinquent. He's still a retard. This is not inspiring. Who wants to be a goofball nutcase like this, screaming all the time? I mean, no, absolutely not. This guy looks like he's got autism, and you know I'm not about that, but this is straight up autism. Nah, man, nah. I will become the greatest kung fu master that has ever lived. I mean, you already are, bro. You can block people's chi. I mean, who else can do that? Like, you have the one technique other kung fu masters don't have. You already are. How in the hell did Hisashi not see this? What is going on here? Now, I don't want to hear no hunchback come at me and say I'm hating. I'm going to give you the middle finger, you piece of garbage, because it shows that you don't give a flying F about this craft. You just want to suck off Diddy Mark and use him as something to worship, as your object to live vicariously through. Oh, Diddy Mark did it for me. He's living the life for me. Like, bruh, shut the hell up, you dirty, dirty hunchback. Right? What can we take from this? What can we learn from all of this? What we can learn is that Viz Media is not worth a damn, unfortunately. Viz Media should not and cannot be taken seriously. Viz Media, despite having Hisashi coordinating all of this, is still dropping the ball. Viz Media has lost all sense of direction. Viz Media does not know what to say. It has nothing to say. Viz Media, including Dark Horse, including all these companies, they are only relying on fake numbers, I suppose. Right? Diddy Mark got his Dark Horse deal, and it was promoted as manga-style webtoons has over 11 million views online. That's not true. We did the calculations. We know that Manga Plus Creators has inflated numbers. We know this. We know this. You know, I was gonna make another video exclusively for Patreon because there is something disastrous taking place here at Viz Media, not at Manga Plus Creators. And this artist, whatever his name, Chan Finger Boomerang, this guy is being torched on Manga Plus by real manga consumers. And their complaint is the guy ripped off Chainsaw Man. I read the thing and I saw the similarities to Chainsaw Man. I saw the attempt to include other concepts aside from Chainsaw Man, but I want to have an in-depth video on this, on why it falls apart. So this one is on Manga Plus, not Creators See, it's on Manga Plus. And the comments here are toasting it. So whoever wants to see this video, it will be on my Patreon next week sometime. But going back to the Diddy Mark situation, guys, I cannot believe this. Viz Media doesn't know what the heck is doing. They don't know what they're doing. And I am greatly appalled and I'm greatly sad that this is taking place. If we have Hisashi who doesn't do his job correctly, it must mean he cannot. It means he can't. It means he is bankrupt in creativity also. I don't know why he doesn't tell Mark, dude, can you extrapolate from your reality? Bro, did you go outside? Bro, did you read any history books? Bro, you're just taking from popular movies. You're just taking from popular IPs. That is all we're seeing with every new manga. These people are incapable of creating something original, not original as like a new power system, but a message of overcoming. I am greatly disappointed, and I don't want to deal with this anymore. Viz Media should hire me. Like, I'm being serious. And to the angry retard who only hear that one part aside from everything else, go kill yourself, right? Viz, you really should hire me and watch me actually save your company. Like, seriously. Because you guys don't know what you're doing. I'm just a guy in Africa and I'm using traditional objective standards that actually make a difference. This is guilty of the chosen one trope. This is guilty of ripping off multiple things, bluntly, overtly, and the main character is a total dork. So no thanks. Absolutely not. Under the Coffee Common standard, despite the good art, this gets a 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. And if you guys want to celebrate and be like, oh, at least TD Mark is on Viz Media, I don't want to be anywhere with poor standards. I don't want to be. And the people celebrating are those who don't have standards, are those who don't even draw, are those who just want to live vicariously through Mark. So shut the hell up. Seriously, shut the hell up, because you're not serious about anything. When last did you even draw a page? When last did you draw a page? I thought so. You haven't even done it. Mark, I know you know me because you said it, right? You lied to your Discord group and said you don't. But you messed up on your Twitter, bro. You forgot to delete that one tweet. Look, man, I tried to reach out to you, but you don't want to just take the risk because everybody will hate you for it, that you spoke to Coffee. You are afraid of your own fan base because you faked it till you made it. Faked it till you made it. Now you have built up a following of live bombs that are waiting for you to say and do the wrong thing, and poof goes your career. You should have started with honesty, bro. You should have just started with honesty. Oh well, that's it for this one. Don't forget the video on Patreon for more hot sauce. Join my Patreon.